Long ago, the land of Judah fell into the hands of the powerful king Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon. The once glorious city lay in ruins, flames devoured homes, and cries filled the streets as men, women, and children were taken captive. Among those carried away were young men of wisdom and courage, Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They were between 25 and 28 years old, yet their hearts were strong with faith in the God of Israel. Days later, the captives arrived at the grand palace of Babylon. The golden towers shimmered in the sun, but their hearts were heavy. As they stood among the crowd of weary Israelites, Daniel and his 3 friends looked around in wonder and sorrow, strangers in a strange land, brought before a foreign king. Inside the royal banquet hall, tables overflowed with roasted meat, wine, and exotic fruits. The Babylonians laughed and ate without restraint, but Daniel and the 3 Hebrew youths turned away, their spirits were troubled. They could not defile themselves with the king's food. Together, they approached the royal chef and humbly requested to be served only vegetables and water. The chef was surprised, but Daniel's wisdom and calm words persuaded him to test their faith. Days passed, and as others feasted on meat and wine, Daniel and his companions remained steadfast. When the time of testing came, they stood before the palace trainers, their faces brighter, their bodies stronger, and their minds sharper than all others. Soon after, they were brought before King Nebuchadnezzar himself. The king found them 10 times wiser than all his magicians and scholars. Their faith had set them apart. Years went by, and the Babylonians built a giant golden statue that reached toward the heavens. One morning, thousands gathered in the valley before the statue. At the sound of trumpets, everyone fell on their knees, bowing in worship to the idol. The air filled with dust and chants, but in the sea of kneeling men, 3 figures stood tall and unmoved, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Their courage shone like light in a dark crowd. The king's anger burned like fire. He summoned them to his palace and gave them one last chance to bow before the golden image. But they refused. "Our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the fiery furnace," they said, "and even if he does not, we will not bow to your God." Furious, the king ordered the furnace, built like a blazing house, to be heated 7 times hotter than usual. Soldiers bound the 3 men and threw them into the raging fire. The flames roared so fiercely that the soldiers themselves perished from the heat. But inside the fire, something miraculous happened. In the midst of the blazing flames walked 4 figures, calm and unburned. The fire swirled around them, but their clothes did not burn, their faces shone like gold. Shadrach walked with steady courage. Meshach gazed upward with tears of wonder. Abednego prayed softly in the glow. And beside them was a radiant 4th, a being clothed in brilliant white, his face filled with peace, the angel of the Lord. From outside, the king watched in awe. His eyes widened as he rose from his throne and shouted, "Did we not cast 3 men into the fire? But I see 4 walking in the midst of the flames, and the 4th looks like the Son of God." His voice trembled with fear and reverence. He called out, "Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, servants of the Most High God, come out." The 3 men stepped out of the furnace. Their robes were not burned, not even the smell of fire was on them. The crowd gasped. The king bowed his head and declared, "Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who sent his angel and delivered his servants that trusted in him." From that day forward, the king promoted Daniel and his 3 friends to high positions in Babylon. They sat beside him as chiefs and counselors, their wisdom honored across the land. Their faith had turned captivity into greatness. And through their courage, the name of their God was glorified forever.